say hi to, I believe the guy's name was Christian. I met him at a local gas station. And there's a couple other little things. Let's see. I want to do some more thank yous. Oh, this isn't a thank you, but I will get to Nora's call in a minute. This isn't a thank you, but for everyone that I ever meet, I appreciate you on a level that we can't really express. But I also want to say hello to Yancey Taylor, whom my guest Carl Clemens may actually know. Yancey Taylor is the producer or one of the producers of the Jeff Reed, excuse me, I had a little problem there, the Jeff Reed Show. And I also want to say hello to Jeff Reed, who is a Pittsburgh Steeler. And I want to remind everyone who is a Pittsburgh Steeler fan to try to vote to get Jeff Reed to the Pro Bowl. So do that. There are ways that you can do that. Vote to get Jeff Reed to the Pro Bowl. Now, I met Jeff Reed twice in the last 2 weeks. I was at his show yesterday, invited by the producer, Yancey Taylor. They put on a nice show, and it's on another network. I believe it's on PCNC. But I want to thank everybody, and especially inviting me and Annette and I for being to the show. And now, got a little bit more, and then we're going to get down to the business at hand. Now, I got to take a little break here on this. I want to talk for a minute about CBK, Catherine Baker Knoll. Catherine Baker Knoll is our late lieutenant governor. Now, I had met Catherine a few times personally, and I have to tell you, Catherine Baker Knoll may not have received a lot of publicity, but she was a genuine, loving, helpful person. She's a very good friend of Nora Parker, and I'm personally going to miss Catherine almost as much as I'm going to miss my dad. I met Catherine a few times, and I also put into her head that it was time for her to consider running for actual governor. And it turns out she was actually considering a run. Now, that would have left me in a kind of an interesting situation because I also like Dan Honorado, but I did ask CBK to run. I also want to point something out. When we think about politics, we start to get polarized, and we think that all Republicans hate Democrats and vice versa. One of Catherine Baker Knoll's, a Democrat, one of her best friends is the wonderful Republican woman, well, not a Republican woman, but Elsie Hillman, who's a registered Republican. They were very close friends. And it just goes to show you that we can have political differences. But I'm very thankful for Catherine Baker Knoll. And I'm also very thankful for the Hillman family, who, of course, created the Hillman Cancer Center. Now, this is, and both Catherine Baker Knoll and Elsie Hillman, what they have inherently in common is both of them have done so much to help humanity.
They reach across the aisle.
They didn't just reach across the aisle. They've really done a lot. But so I want to make it a point to say that we are going to miss Catherine Baker Knoll, and that this show is dedicated to Catherine Baker Knoll. And then I have one more, I think it is, two more quick things. And that is, number one, Carl, did you know that this is Election Day? It's December the 2nd, 2008, and in one state, it's Election Day. Do you believe me?
I believe you, man. I take your word for it.
Where is it? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
You don't know? Oh, you don't know? Call in if you know. Okay, I'm kidding. No, actually, for those of you who are into the political game, there's an election being held today in Georgia for the United States Senate seat because it was like a 50% runoff. And what happened is nobody got more than 51%. So they're having a runoff. So right now, as we speak, in Georgia, December the 2nd, 2008, there is actually an election going on.
Wow.
And so it just goes to show you. And by the way, if we have time today, I'm going to talk a little bit about politics, just not the kind of way that I usually do, so don't worry. It's Christmas, it's fun time, but don't worry, I got something to say. But anyway, now one other thing. Now this is serious. Not that that wasn't, because it was. But in 2009, I got to be careful what I say and how I say it, not to offend anyone, but I want my audience and all PCTV viewers to be aware that PCTV is up for franchise renewal starting in 2009. What that means is, in order to keep these shows on the air, we're going to be asking the public to kind of help us out. So, you know how I always tell you, get political, do this, do that? Well, we're going to need your help. So if you like watching this show or any show such as Steel City Sports World, of course with Luther Dupree, if you like our shows and you think there's a value, or you just like the entertainment aspect, then we're going to need your assistance at some point in the future. And when I get more information, sometime in 2009, I will give you more information, as will other producers. But we're going to need your help in 2009. And I'm not going to say if it's a negative thing that we have to worry about or positive. All I'm just going to say is we need you. I think that's it for the announcements. I sure hope so. So the only other thing is I want to say is I thank all of the people I've met in person. And I think it's astonishing that you watch the show. I think it's great. Linnell appreciates it. We're very thankful. Absolutely. But we want you to know that if you happen to see us in person, what's good about this show is we're really who we act like on the show. All the silliness or seriousness. And as many of you who've met me know, I really am that cool in that I will come up to you, talk to you, and I enjoy people because humanity really does matter. And that's all I got to say on that. So, Mr. Linnell, I believe we have a call that you might want to answer.
Yeah, sure.
And then we got a little bit of something with double C over here.
Okay. Hello, Nora.
Hi, Linnell. How are you?
Fine, and yourself?
I am super fine listening to your program as always and thanking you and Al for mentioning how important it is to keep our PCTV on the air.
It is.
Yes, ma'am.
And the most important person who loved PCTV was Catherine Baker Knoll.
CBK.
And when she realized that I wanted to be a
CBK.
producer, she told me that she would sponsor me. I didn't understand what sponsor meant, but when you're with Catherine Baker Knoll, it means she becomes your sister at arms, and that's what she was to me.
That's wonderful.
There was no place that she wouldn't find for me to go in video so we could show it on our show to enhance the audience of Pittsburgh. So I know she would want us to keep pushing and push very hard to make sure that our TV station is a lively participant of giving information out about humanity, about politics, and the organizations that we have in our Western Pennsylvania. Elsie Hillman I met also through Catherine at Chatham College when I went there to see Elsie give Catherine the Amelia Earhart Award, which was a prestigious award that each woman get every year. But after that, I would like maybe, if maybe you or Al, she's a good Republican, so Richard Dillon could ask Miss Hillman one day to come down to the station, because what she can give to the community is something so blessed, and also such a smart woman. My dog's barking.
I know. Is that Sky?
We in Western Pennsylvania would really enjoy her at the station. So please make it your, call the Pittsburgh Partnership in some way and try to get Miss Hillman on down there at PCTV.
Well, I'm gonna do that, Nora. But I have to ask you a question. Was that Sky barking?
No, this was my friend who they are boxers. They are boxers.